Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got a video for you from Judge Graham in Texas. He is holding a termination of rights hearing. So I'll let you guys watch.
Okay, it's past 11:15. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I will call Gray County case cause number 41136. This is a final hearing involving the Odell child. Mr. Albee is with us for the department. Ms. Williamson is with us for CASA. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the child. Mr. Parental is with us representing the mother, Ms. Fisher, who is with us. And Mr. McCoy is with us representing the intervenor, Mrs. Salazar, who is with us. All right, I have Yolanda Novak in the waiting room.
She'll be my witness, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything we need to, well, we still have, we had Mr. McCoy's intervention, and then we had the department's motion to strike. Are those still on the table? Do we need to deal with those first?
This time, Your Honor, the department will withdraw its motion to strike.
Okay. All right, then that was the only motion filed. So we won't need to go into testimony about the substantial past contact since there's no pending motion to strike. Then Mr. McCoy repled as I ordered him to do so. So I will approve that intervention in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, all right. Do the parties need to talk before we get started? Is everybody ready to go?
Judge, if you would allow the attorneys to be in a breakout room just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay. All right. I'll open that breakout room for all the attorneys. Let me get you lined up.
Hey, Judge.
We're all back.
Judge, may I talk?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge. My client would like to make an announcement and like for me to talk for her.
Okay.
Okay, my client would like to voluntarily relinquish her parental rights today,
Okay.
and I think she'll agree to that on the record. She just would, if she's going to voluntarily do it, she doesn't want it to be done by any of the other bad acts that may be listed in the Texas Family Code.
So you're basically saying if you want the court to terminate her based solely on her affidavit of relinquishment and nothing else.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Anybody have an objection to that?
No objection.
Okay.
No, Your
All
Honor.
right.
She wants to do what's best for her children.
Okay. I appreciate that. Mr. Albee, how do you want to proceed? We obviously don't have an affidavit today. You want to just recess until we get that?
No, Judge, I think if the court would approve, I would ask that we present evidence today on the other parts of that, the best interest in the necessary, reasonable necessary steps, and then allow you to hold off on signing the order until we have the affidavit signed by Ms. Fisher.
Okay. That's fine with me. We've got a dismissal date of March 24th, so we've got plenty of time. I'll just go ahead and listen to the evidence. I'll recess it until the affidavit is presented, filed and presented to me, and at which time I'll be happy to sign the order.
Which, Judge, I'd like to admonish my client, let her know that she needs to stay in contact with me, and she needs to be able to sign this affidavit and get it back to me.
Yeah, I'll put a deadline on it. So, Mr. Parental, are you going to draft it, or do you want the department to get you their standard one, and then you can get with your client to have it signed?
It'd be great if they gave me their standard, Judge.
Okay.
I'm working on it right now.
Okay, I figured you were, Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie.
Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and take this testimony. I'm looking for Ms. Fisher. You're going to hear some things you probably don't like, and I want to be sure you understand. The termination will be based solely on your affidavit of relinquishment, nothing else. So, all right, Mr. Albee, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Ms. Yolanda Novak.
Okay. Ms. Novak, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Albee.
Ms. Novak, you're a St. Francis Ministries permanency specialist.
I am.
In that capacity, you are familiar with Cash Odell, who's a 1-year-old child who resides with his paternal grandmother in Gray County, Texas.
Correct.
And you've been the caseworker in this case pretty much from the beginning, correct?
Correct.
Cash is with his grandmother, Catherine Salazar.
Correct.
And he's been there since right after his birth.
Yes, he was, and then they had family-based services, and they did not complete family-based services, and he was removed and in a foster home briefly before he went to Catherine.
But for all intents and purposes, he spent the majority of his life with Miss Salazar.
Yes, correct.
And is he doing well in that care?
Yes, he is.
And is he meeting all of his developmental milestones?
Yes, he does receive ECI services to help develop his motor skills and speech.
Does Miss Salazar make sure that that she's available and Cash is available for those ECI services and for other medical appointments that he needs to be attending?
Yes, she does.
And in fact, Cash has a sibling or partial sibling that resides in the Salazar home also.
Yes, he does.
And they're being raised as full siblings.
Correct.
Cash's father is deceased during the lifetime of this case.
Yes.
Cash's mother is Christy Fisher.
Correct.
And she's made it known today that she wishes to sign an affidavit of relinquishment of her parental rights. That has to be voluntary. And so I'm going to ask you some questions. Have you approached her and asked her to sign an affidavit of relinquishment?
No, sir, I have not.
Have you promised her anything if she would sign an affidavit of relinquishment?
No, sir.
Do you know of anybody else who may have promised her anything if she signed an affidavit of relinquishment?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
Other than we were preparing for a termination of her parental rights for other grounds, but you didn't make any outside threats to her for if she didn't sign an affidavit, did you?
No, sir.
As far as you know, nobody from the Department of St. Francis Ministries has done that.
Not that I know of. No, sir.
Miss Fisher's life has been in a little bit of turmoil. Recently, she's lost a job and she's lost her place to live. It just seems to be it would be in the best interest of Cash for him to remain in Miss Salazar's home.
Yes.
In the meantime, during the length of the case, St. Francis Ministries and you specifically have done things to attempt to reunify Cash with his mother.
Correct.
I mean, there was a service plan that was developed. You helped do that, correct?
Yes.
When Miss Fisher moved to East Texas, you've taken steps to try to find her service providers where she moved.
Yes.
We've attempted to arrange for visitation and transportation so that she can do visitation face to face even.
Yes.
You say that all those were necessary and reasonable steps in an attempt to reunify Miss Fisher with her son.
Yes, they were.
At this time, do you believe that it would be in the best interest for Cash if Ms. Fisher's parental rights were terminated based upon an affidavit of relinquishment that she promises that she'll sign?
I do.
If the court approves that and does terminate the parental rights of Ms. Fisher, are you asking the court to continue the department as permanent managing conservator until we can make arrangements with Ms. Salazar for her to be named as a managing conservator?
Yes, I am.
And is that also in the best interest of cash at this time?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pirtle, questions?
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Lucero, questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Novak, just to be clear, Ms. Salazar wants to be the long-term placement for cash. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you believe that's in his best interest?
I do.
I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Novak? I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy, did you have any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Albee then, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I'll rest.
All right, Mr. Pirtle, any witnesses? Mr. Pirtle, are you frozen? Can everybody else hear me? There we go.
Your Honor, I think everybody froze up for a minute.
Well, we're unfrozen now. Do you have any questions?
I have no questions, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lucero, anything else? You're muted.
I apologize. I don't have any witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anyone?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Judge. I thought you're asking for I had any more questions. Questions of the last witness. I would like to call my client, Christy Fisher.
Okay. Ms. Fisher, if you'd unmute, please.
Hello.
If you'd raise your right hand, ma'am. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Pirtle.
Christy, go ahead and state your name for the record.
It's spelled out.
Okay. And you're the mother of Cash Odell, correct?
Correct.
Now, have you expressed an opinion with me today that you would like to sign a voluntary relinquishment of parental rights?
Yes.
And you believe that's in the best interest of your child?
I didn't hear an answer.
Yes.
You have to say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And is anyone forcing you to do that?
No, sir.
Okay. And are you going to stay in contact with my office so I can get you that affidavit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you'll sign it and you'll get it back to me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Anyone else have questions for Ms. Fisher?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
No further questions, Judge.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Judge.
Ms. Lucero, recommendations?
Your Honor, I recommend that the department remain, I guess, temporary managing conservator at this point, and that Cash's placement with Ms. Salazar continue, and that when Ms. Fisher, that her rights be terminated upon receipt of the executed voluntary relinquishment. I just wanted to let her know, I know it's a tough decision, and I know that she's taken Cash's best interest at heart, and we do appreciate that, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Williamson, Costa, anything to add?
We have nothing to add, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, then here's what I'm going to tell everybody what I'm going to do, then I'll make my formal announcement. I'm going to go ahead and announce my verdict, assuming that Ms. Fisher signs the affidavit of relinquishment. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to recess the case today. I'm going to set a reconvening date in case she does not execute the affidavit of relinquishment, at which time we'll go forward with the full-blown finish out the trial based on any grounds of termination the department wishes to present. But I'm going to go ahead and announce, assuming that she does sign that relinquishment and it's filed before we reconvene, then I'll announce what we're doing and I could just sign the agreed order. So Assuming that Ms. Fisher signs the affidavit of relinquishment and it's on file on or before March 7th, 2025, my ruling will be as follows. I find that it's in the best interest of the child, Cash Odell, that the parental rights of the mother, Christy Fisher, be terminated. I'll terminate those rights, assuming she signs the affidavit of relinquishment based solely on that affidavit of relinquishment and no other grounds. In that event, I will name the department permanent managing conservator, continue Cash's current placement with Ms. Salazar, the intervenor. If that all takes place, Ms. Lucero will remain in the case as the child's attorney ad litem. All other parties involved will be dismissed after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. In the event she does not sign that affidavit on or before March 7th, 2025, and it's not on file, we will reconvene this final on March 7th, 2025, at which time the court will hear all evidence the department or any other party wishes to present as to grounds for termination. If this all goes as we hope and that affidavit, the relinquishment affidavit is filed, you can just submit me an agreed order. And in that order, I will set the first placement review hearing for May 6th, 2025. If not, then we'll be back here on March 7th to conclude this case.
Okay.
All right. Have I missed anything?
Judge,
Your
I have
Honor,
a question.
CASA would like to stay in the case.
Okay. All right. Then I will add CASA to remain in the case.
And Your Honor, this is Will McCloy.
Uh-huh.
You had said all other parties are dismissed. Will I and Ms. Salazar be dismissed and we just work with the department, or do we stay in as well until this is finalized?
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to stay in if you want, unless somebody objects to you. No, I don't think
We're
anybody
working
would.
well with the department either way.
Yeah, no, it's just I just announced it that way because you're not court appointed, so I'd have to tell you I'm not able to pay you any further monies. But since you're retained, you're welcome to come back on March 7th if we have to, and if not, you're welcome to come back on May 6th.
Sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. If we've covered
Judge-
everything, yes.
Judge, do you want just kind of a, excuse me, a generic order with what you just said? Or just not do anything and just show that the hearing started today, and then if we have to do it on March 7th, then we can do it those two dates, or?
Leslie, I'm fine if you just do the order, assuming she signs, and then
Okay.
just hold it until that relinquishment's been filed, and then if everybody else has signed off on it, I'm agreeable to just sign that. If not,
Okay.
then we'll wait and see what happens on March 7th, and then you'll be able to draft the order according to what happens then.
Okay, I've got it ready to go, so we're
Okay,
good.
I figured you did.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you
Thank you.
all. This is our last case. We'll stand in recess. Everybody have a good week. Try to stay safe and warm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Uh-huh.
sir.
Thank you all. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Judge. I'll see you Friday.
All righty.
I realized that this was a termination of rights hearing, so I think Mom's rights were going to be terminated anyway. But by signing them over, she actually did a very unselfish thing by signing them over. I think that the grandmother that she signed them over to is the paternal grandmother, and the father of this boy has passed away. So this grandmother now has the one thing her son had, the one precious thing her son had in this life. So I kind of see it as an unselfish act, and I applaud her for that. I realize it was hard, and you can see in this hearing how difficult it was. But I think she did the right thing, and she did a good thing. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.